Hello, I'm John Kehoe, and I'm here again advocating for this human rights violation that is ongoing to the present. I graduated from College in 1990, and I have a master's degree in Chinese Studies from the School of Oriental and African Studies, the African Studies, University of London, in 2003. Since late 2005, I've been isolated, and my family and longtime friends are either incorporated in this human rights violation, or I am isolated from them and can communicate with them on Facebook and things of that nature. What I'm talking about right now is about 2010, when I lived in a conspiratorial setup using my own funds left to me by my father, where my brother was embezzling $10,000 from me a year, and I had $10,000 allowance to stabilize me in this house that was set up solely for using emerging weapons technology, surveillance, and a myriad of daily disturbances entering my home, disturbing anything that I would use, newspapers, and violating me through conspiracy to steal large amounts of my property, books and compact discs, ripping my clothing continuously. What I'm talking about right now specifically is the leases that I had for 3.5 to 4 years housing Coolidge property, West Side, Coolidge West Side, Binghamton, New York. These leases, I had gone to the Attorney General's office in Binghamton, New York, and spoke to a woman, and I did this on the fly. So the people doing this to me weren't able to go there and set something up to intimidate me and send me off on my way. So the woman that I spoke to handed me complaint forms and asked me if I had my leases, and then I had a fraud letter from the offices, and I said yes, I did. These were in my locked bag, and I was on a roll, I thought, because I was going to prepare documentation and file that report to the Attorney General's office. And what happened that night, this is May 28th, Friday, 8 a.m. in the morning, visited the Attorney General's office. So these leases and everything with the complaint form that I can fill out are with me, and they are contained in my lock bag. Spend hours in the library. After the library, I'm heading home, and I take some coffee and some food in a Mexican restaurant and read the New York Times. And this is the evening of the 28th, after I have in my head confirmed that I can file a complaint with my leases and evidence on paper. As I'm eating and seated, because these people get my brother's wife call me, and they say that she is told to say that she wants to see me. It's very important, and she loves me, and she cares about me, and she's sorry that Mike did this stuff. By this time, I have a lawyer for the embezzlement, and I am, by May 28th, I have sole access to the trust that conspiracy to take me from that was issued in 2006. So I have my own funds and access to RBC Wealth Management Trust. And Amy calls me and says, "Oh, Mike did bad things to you. I need to see you." Well, she kept interfering with my what I was doing, reading the New York Times and having a meal. So I stopped taking the call. After my meal, I went to Court Street, opened a street concert where they were allowed to serve some beer, and I took 3 beers and that was about 7 o'clock, maybe 8 o'clock. And during this time, the appearance of a woman was set up beforehand in April to get with me and be intimate with me. And her job was to try to convince me, since I was getting my access to my funds, she was basically, this one night affair, she was trying to get me to get my renew my passport and go with her and a friend to India. Well, I was getting a lawyer, the organization doing this to me, Emerging Weapons Technology, getting black budget money from the DOD. Well, they didn't know for sure how this situation with the lawyer would evolve. But he took my case with no retainer fee, and I think he knew something else was going on. By this time, I had not yet gone public on the internet with my name associated with this human rights violation. Well, I saw this woman who I had been with in April. She appears on the 28th, and after I sit and take some beer in on the open park street, on Court Street, the concert, I ignored her. So what is happening is they're setting up a situation where they can get my leases out of my bag. So if they could lead me intimate again with this woman, they could do that. Well, I don't know that that's going on, but I ignored her. And I travel up to 50th, which is on the corner of Front Street and Court, Main. And there's a ruckus inside on purpose, I think, to dissuade me from going in there. And I speak to a drinking buddy that I know from there, and he says, oh, somebody's giving me a hard time. So I leave, and I approach the high school, and I'm on my way home, and I am grabbed. What happened was they commandeered 2 police officers and paramedic van to drug me unconscious within seconds of the needle going into my arm. As I'm passing by the high school, approaching Oak Street, I am grabbed from behind by a large police officer, and I yell. I'm like, what? He says, oh, and another officer comes up, and they drag me to this ambulance. The paramedic jabs the needle in my arm, and I'm unconscious within the second that needle went in my arm. I wake up in the ER room of the Binghamton General Hospital at 11 a.m. the next day, Saturday, 29th. I'm drugged, and actually, like, it's a prescription drug. It's something they give to schizophrenics or something. But I felt kind of high and doped up, and it was a little nice, but not nice, because what they did was they went into my bag and they took the leases. I had the keys on my chain, and I proceeded to go home. And I think that evening I called my aunt for the first time and told her about this. At this time, I have no contact with any extended family except my cousins, the lawyer, and the broker, Matt Kehoe, in RBC Wealth Management, Wesley Hills, and so this is what they did. They took my leases, they drugged me beyond belief. I'm feeling high, and they let me go out of the hospital. Kind of strange. They just needed the leases. Freedom of Information Acts would in Binghamton, New York, regarding this, all my interactions with the police, any paramedic thing of this nature, when I trashed an apartment at 260 Washington Street in 2007, April, when the police officer cut my hand to take me to the psych ward, claiming that I had self-inflicted wound. Put your hands in the air, and he cut my hand. All the situation in Binghamton, New York, could be could be enlightened. There could be much enlightenment if I could get freedom of information. I can't do anything, but this just shows you Yeah, I'm rambling here, sorry. Yeah, I sleep on subways. I have nothing except, and I will make more videos on my 2011 to 2012 when I was living in Chinatown off my truck, and but for now, there will be a letter that I sent to, prior to this May incident, I had sent a letter, hand-delivered a letter to Carrie Rainey, the city councilwoman of my area in Binghamton, New York. And the police harassed me about that. They were told that they were commandeered to harass me the very night that I sent the letter. The night during April 10th, after sending the letter to Carrie Rainey. But I will have a video on that, more specific evidence, more specifics about that. I'm rambling here, and I have had a lot of coffee, and I will talk to you later. Thank you. Bye-bye.